Boot Camp, RTC, California. Ron, you came full circle, brother. Boot Camp, now you retire here. And as the captain said, you guys changed it. A lot of people here. A lot of traffic, too. That's why I like Panama City. From boot Camp to Great Lakes, Illinois, Machinist Made A School. That's where Ron was headed. Upon graduation, MAA A School, then MN Scholar was shipped off the island of Guam, turning wrenches on pumps in R9 Division on board the USS Proteus. This is where Ron saw his true calling, to be a deep-sea diver. Big Navy's Fleet Loss was our chance to gain in the Spec Ops community. It will be a chance for the diving and the EOD world to capitalize on young Ron Scholar's talents for the better part of the next 26 years. Early '83, Ron attended 2nd class dive school, then received orders back to another island in the middle of the Pacific, Hawaii. Mutsu 1, Pearl Harbor. He was still turning wrenches, only now he was absorbing nitrogen while he was doing it. 3 years honing his skills as an underwater ship's husbandry specialist, it was time to roll out and go to 1st class dive school, where he graduated at the top of his class, and he was able to stay on board as an instructor in Panama City. Instructor Scholar. It was here that I would have my first chance to meet this professional and spend the next 3 tours working alongside Big Ron. He was a little more streamlined back then. So was I. My neck wasn't as big. And I regret to wear these chokers today. He would terrorize the students on a daily basis. Back then we can do that. On a PT grinder and volleyball court. As everybody knows, who knows Ron as a friend, he's very competitive. Sometimes you would think he needed an anger management course to soothe the competitive beast in him. Is anyone in golf with him? Dennis? PT? Ron? You all know what I mean, right? He doesn't like to lose. Traveling next duty station, back to the Rock in the middle of the Pacific, USS Salvador, a true junk boat sailor. He was an AMR supervisor, EL, PC repair locker leader, and obtained unlimited diving supervisor. The EN1 Scholar was punching all the right tickets. He went to MMA school. I don't know where the transition happened to EN1. You'll have to talk to him about that one. Junk boat highlights. While we were on board the Salvador, here's some of the highlights I'd like to hit on. We salvaged a UH-46 helicopter from 17,251 feet. We were 3 months on station, 140 miles east of Wake Island, the deepest known salvage recovery. And we had a Filipino cook who would make excellent shark fin soup, because there was a lot of sharks in the area when we were on Trachula side. Wow. Remember that? Good stuff. We also had a joint Indonesian Salvex underwater welding and cutting. We crossed the equator, transiting through Jaro. We had Liberty in Bali. Anybody been to Bali? Topless beaches. I didn't hear that. He didn't go. Neither did I. We just came to the watering hole. We had joint Korean Salvex demo underwater cutting and welding. 2 six-month Westpacks. 2 minor upkeeps in PI, and 4 ocean tows. It was also here on board Salvador that he was tested, selected, and initiated as a Chief Petty Officer. After completing the very successful tour, Chief Petty Officer Scholar was tasked to work with our EOD brothers at Training Evaluation Unit 1 in 1993. EOD TA-1 was in Hawaii at the time. It's Barbers Point, F Beach, and it was paradise. It was definitely paradise. This is where Ron trained and qualified EOD techs as 16 operators and supervisors. He also provided advanced dive training to PAC fleet debts during these workups. This is where he also obtained Master Training Specialist. He was selected for Senior Chief. He submitted his package for Master Diver Evaluation. He also conducted 4 MTTs, 2 to Guam, Whidbey Island, and Mare Island, training EOD techs in Basic 16 and supervisor. I got a real quick story. It won't take long. Mare Island, California, January 1995. We had a 3-day weekend, so we were up there during the training, and we're sitting around at BAQ. Ron was reading the paper. I was drinking. And he found an interesting ad in the classified section. 2 NFC Championship tickets for sale. Cowboys-Niners, Candlestick Park, San Francisco. So we pulled our money, made some phone calls, and made it happen. Big Ron decided to wear a cowboy hat to the game. He was the only guy in the whole stadium with a cowboy hat on. That was brutal. You remember that one girl who had Dallas Sucks on her chest? It was cold that day, too. After the 49ers scored 21 points in the first quarter and the major harassment from the fans, Ron said if they score one more time this half, taking his hat off. They did. Ron took his hat off. Niners won that game 38-28. That was a good time. That was good. September 1997, Senior Chief Scala achieved the ultimate diver classification. A master diver, qualified to perform as a diving supervisor in all facets of Navy diving, the mentor, the motivator, and the guiding force for all divers at diving support personnel. Since then, Ron has stood up Mud Sudet here in San Diego, where he advanced to Master Chief. He was a key member of the salvage team that recovered the engine and condenser of the USS Monitor. He conducted harbor defense, cold water operations in support of Operation Northern Edge in Alaska for 3 consecutive years. Ron worked with the civilian scientists in underwater research and developing projects at Spey Ward. He evaluated several master diver classes and then concluded his career here at EOD 2-1. Master Chief Scala took it to the next level in every facet of his life. Over his 28 years in the Navy, Master Chief Ron Scala made a career of mastering his domain, and most importantly, passing on this knowledge to the next generation of sailors. They were the blue shirts, the chiefs, the junior officers, and yes, commanding officers also. It would be nearly impossible to quantify the impact that this man sitting here before you has had on the Navy and the lives of those entrusted to his mentorship and training. I can go on and on about all the other diving adventures we've had together, but those sound much better when you're tossing back a cold one. It can be a dollar storm. Ron, we've grown up together in the Navy and watched our sons grow up together as well. Countless birthday parties, baseball games, barbecues. We have glowed a lot of steaks together, brother. And we have a few more cows waiting to be processed for our grill. Ron Scala, you have built a lasting and living legacy over the 28 years in the United States Navy. For this, you and your family should be proud. For this, you should look back fondly on the years well spent in your nation's defense. For this, you should know that we, as a community and as a nation, are truly grateful. Godspeed, my brother, on the next stage of your life, and know that you will always be part of ours. You're up and over for the last time. Booyah, Ron Scala. Thank you all. Booyah.
Master Diver Scala, front and center. Military, attention to award. Department of the Navy. This is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal Gold Star in lieu of third award to Master Chief Navy Diver Ronald A. Scala, United States Navy, for meritorious service while serving as Division Officer and Command Master Diver in Explosive Ordnance Disposal Training and Evaluation Unit 1 from November 2007 to November 2009. Through Master Chief Scala's exceptional leadership, he directed 4 new high-risk diver training courses, instituted the Diving Salvage Warfare Specialist Program, oversaw 6 instructors during 14,160 student contact hours of advanced diver training, and was responsible for a highly successful dive safety survey, resulting in an overall assessment well above the fleet average.